Hi guys, good morning. So today I'd like to reflect on people who tell you you can't do something. Okay, so I've had many instances in my life where I've been told that, you know, I'm basically no good. And it's really interesting because every time someone's told me I can't do something, I've actually gone to excel in it really well. And it just shows that how much we shouldn't be influenced by what other people say to us and think about us, because only we understand or we know the true power that lies within us. So I'm just trying to think of a couple of personal examples. So, for example, okay, university. So when I was at one particular university, and one teacher, she failed me 3 times. And there was clearly some kind of issue there. She, I'm not going to go into it, but matter of the fact is, this one lecturer on this one particular module failed me 3 times. And I ended up going to a better university through luck, and I actually ended up excelling and getting a first for that degree. And then, karma has it that I ended up doing a postgraduate course back at the same uni with that same lecturer. But, it was just, how dare she tell me? How dare she fail me and make me feel as though I was nothing, that I meant nothing? Or, for example, when I learned belly dancing and I got offered a teaching job to teach belly dancing, my first teaching job, I went back to my own belly dance teacher, and she basically told me that I was no good, wasn't ready to teach, and she didn't want to have herself associated with me. And last night I just taught the most fantastic belly dancing class. I mean, it's done me so much good to have learnt this art, and it's helped me really get in touch with myself over the years and appreciate myself as a woman and my figure and my body, and kind of uh, combating all the kind of confidence and self-esteem issues that women in modern day society and life generally face. Um, and then, like, recently, for example, somebody I used to go to as a bit, not a guru as such, but I kind of used to go to this person for yoga. And since I've started doing my own training and kind of following my own path, and yoga is something that it's everyone's journey is personal. So someone might take 15 years to reach consciousness or enlightenment or self-realization. Some people never realize it. Some people can realize it in a matter of seconds because it's the right time for them. So I'm very spiritually aware. I always have been, but due to life experiences, I may have, you know, kept that side of me locked away, let's say. So when I've had lots of moments and I've suddenly become, very conscious, very aware, and like as if I'm suddenly awake, this teacher then told me that my energy was very raw and I need to learn to kind of control it. And that's just 3 examples that I can just think of off the top of my head. In my life, I've had many more, but those are the 3 that kind of stand out for me. And today I've set up my own company. I'm self-employed. I've worked in so many settings to do with children, young people, communities, working with women in education, both in and out of school, looking at building communities, engaging community cohesion. And, I just know that I'm so much more valuable than all these people made me feel I was, or led me to believe. And I've been more productive in myself and more successful since I started believing in myself. Not thinking about kind of societal pressures, or when should you get married, when should you have kids, what kind of a person should you be with. Even simple things like what time you should get up, what kind of lifestyle you should lead. These are all things that vary from person to person. And I've mentioned this before. Once you get to know yourself, you start to realize your own self-worth, then the world literally becomes your oyster. Sky's the limit. It's then the world becomes your playground. Once you start to realize how much you're worth, when you realize how much you're worth, you develop a sense of self-belief. Once you self-believe, anything's possible. And there's a timing for everything. So all the bad experiences I've had, I'm grateful for. At the time they felt like hell. But they've made me who I am today, and they've brought me to this point where I can now share my knowledge and experiences with other people in order to help other people, because I've always liked helping people. True, some people like to take advantage of, one's kind nature, but that's when, you learn to, rather than having your barriers too low and allowing people to come into your life and, hurt you, and also not having your barriers too high so that you kind of develop this hard exterior or block people from coming into your life. I've now found that middle ground that works for me. And I must say, having a loving and supportive husband definitely helps with that. And, having a good family helps. But, when you find love and your soulmate, it really makes you feel more complete and whole. But, according to Asian standards, I found my husband quite late, and I was being fussy and I was being choosy and all the rest of it. But actually, I listened to myself and I waited for the right person, and I'm so glad I did, because I've now found the right person. So with everything in life, it's good, listen to people, but don't take it to heart, because I did that for a long time. And that's what actually brings us down. You should, so long as you've got a good heart and you've got honourable intentions, then there's no harm in listening to yourself and following your own path. Because if you're a good person, your path will lead to something, whatever it's meant to be anyway. And we shouldn't live in fear as to what our path holds for us, because then we're not really living properly anyway. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. And I just thought I'd share those with you just as a bit of food for thought, because, especially in today's world, there's standards for everything. There's a wrong and a right for everything. There's, experts in things. If you don't have a qualification or a piece of paper, apparently you don't know stuff these days. Or, I'm sorry, but it's bullshit. And I understand that they're there to regulate things, but who decided things needed regulating? And then you can go into this whole discussion to do with history and politics and, all that kind of, cultural kind of expectations. And, we're kind of going into another territory of discussion. But, it's worth considering. Like, for example, I'll give you one more example. One student that I coached, so she's been learning belly dancing for many years. She's a student. She now comes to me for coaching, because when I see her dance, I see that she's not able to express herself in a way that suits her individuality. She's been to so many classes, so many teachers, and she's picked up all these styles from different people, that she's combining their styles, in which, in the process, her style is almost being overshadowed. So excuse me, I'm helping her to come out of her shell and understand what she likes and how she can present her own style of dancing when she's performing. And we were talking, and I said to her, even, and this applies to all things in life, what is the truth? I mean, you can go to dance school and do dance training, but that's just that particular school or institution that teaches that subject in that particular way, that says you need to do this and that in order to be an accomplished dancer. Says who? Or you go to another teacher and they tell you, this is the way of doing things, this is the correct way. Says who? What is the correct way? There is no such thing. Everybody's different. Does that make sense? You know, so it's important not to get swallowed by other people's excuse me, other people's opinions and beliefs, because, you know, everybody has their own belief. We're all, you know, we come alone, we're going to go alone. We experience our own journey alone. So it's important to just be aware of yourself. I'm quite, you know, rebellious by nature. I always have been, even when I was young and through my teens and throughout my 20s, I was very rebellious. And, you know, being rebellious is always seen as a bad thing. But actually, all I did was question why. Why should I do this? Why do you think that's right for me? What is the point of me doing that? And there's no harm in asking these questions. And, you know, it's the questions of why that has led me to this point in my life where suddenly I feel as though I have answers. So, excuse me, I've got a cough today. I put on a diffuser last night, overnight, with a bit of lemon in it. These essential lemon oils, they're like 100% fresh, natural. And although my airway felt very clear this morning, I can see now I'm talking too much. It's making my throat tickle. But yeah, just continue to be kind to yourself, guys. Listen to yourself and just be happy. You know, life is too short to be unhappy. And you're always going to meet people that are going to try and take away your sparkle. I've had that so much. I have loads of haters, you know, and over the years I've experienced that kind of, those vibes from lots of different people, women and men, because, you know, women can be threatened or feel insecure by somebody who's got, you know, a strong mind. And sometimes men don't like it either. It's a bit intimidating, or it's not what they're used to. And, you know, same, you know, it's not just for women, it's for men as well. You know, I've got family full of brothers, and, you know, women can also be very manipulative with men as well. You know, and then we're going into the terrain of gender and all those kinds of things. So we won't go there. But, you know, at the end of the day, the message is just be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Show people love. You know, love is free. So why not show it? It's such a powerful emotion. A little bit of kindness, small act of kindness goes a long way. You know, all those people that have said to me, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or you won't be able to do that. They ain't seen nothing yet. And it makes me laugh, because now I don't care about their opinions. I don't care if you think my dancing is wrong, or my technique is wrong, or my style is wrong, or you think I'm too hyper, or got too much energy, or so what? I don't care. It's me. That's me. That's my journey. It's my development. I know for a fact that I have a bit of a chakra issue in my throat. So I think maybe also the reason I'm coughing a lot is because I'm saying things in this public forum that I would never have had the strength or guts or courage to say before. But I feel as though I'm talking on behalf of a lot of people. You know, I meet so many people who find life hard. Life is hard. Life is very hard. Everyone is going through their own problems. Uncertainty about the future. Stressful relationships. Damaging work environments. Health problems. You know, everybody's life is hard. No one has an easy life. No one's life is perfect, even though some people might try and make out like their life is very perfect. Nothing's perfect. So, especially, you know, in the last few weeks, I've really seen that life is hard. Life is hard for everyone. Everyone's on their own journey, going through their own emotions. going through their own experience. You know, like something can happen to one person and it will affect the people around them. So say, you know, you've got Adam, for example. Adam is a son, so if something happens to him, his mum will be affected. Adam is a brother, so if something happens to him, his siblings will be affected, but differently. Adam is a father, so if something happens to him, his children will be affected, but differently. And you get this kind of chain of events. Oh God, my throat, so sorry. You end up with this chain of events. People just being affected by different things happening in their life and in the lives of people around them. And all these things can take such a toll on your health. And you know, if you've got health problems and then on top of that, you've got people telling you can't do things or shouldn't do things, no wonder depression is rife. People are miserable, they're unhappy because they're isolated. And you know, if we were born to live in isolation, we wouldn't be surrounded by other people and other humans. We wouldn't be born out of our mother if we were supposed to be alone. And I know then that leads to another set of, you know, things to do with attachment and what happens if you're abandoned, and you know, and that's again another area of discussion. But you know, generally speaking, it can be very easy to become very isolated, especially in this day and age where we're surrounded by social media. You know, we're having to create this profile of who we are and how our lives are. Lying to ourselves, really. How many of you or we actually are true to ourselves? Anyway, this discussion can go on for ages. And my throat is really dry, so I'm going to stop now, get some water, do my yoga for the day. And I just want to leave you with a message of love, guys, that love is the most powerful tool, whether it's love for yourself, love for towards your loved ones, your family, love towards your pets, love towards nature, love towards your job, love towards your hobby, whatever it is, make sure you find love in your life. And that love can lead to mountains being moved, because when you find that love, people's opinions will no longer bother you, and you'll realize what's important. It will help you focus and it will help you stay positive. On that note, ciao for now.